Greetings, everybody. This is JTH. If you're wondering why Tails is acting like that, he just read the My Little Dashy Clop sequel, and he was he was distraught by it. I wasn't reading it with him, but
No. No. No.
But anyways, we are reading. If he ever gets the nerve to come down and read this with me, we are reacting to another Liquid Rainbow's fanfic called Intensive Care. This one stars an OC pony. It looks like his name is Rocky and Nurse Redheart, and for some reason there's no picture for her in the characters. He just used other characters, but whatever. I guess I will get started. I'll drag this over. Okay. Intensive Care by Liquid Rainbows. Where am I? Those bleary eyes and an even blearier mind. Rocky tried to make sense of his surroundings. It was uncannily silent, save for the rhythmic beeping sound of emitting from a monitor beside him. The room around him was gray, cold metallic gray. What wasn't gray was opaque white. Rocky found that he was lying on a mildly soft bed, propped upwards with a white sheet resting over his legs. My legs. When he noticed his legs were completely numb. Frantically, Rocky tried kicking. Nothing. Completely immobile. Gathering his strength, Rocky moved a forehoof down and tore the sheet away. His legs were wrapped in a hard cast-like material. Damn it. What's going on here?
Hi, everybody. Tailsthehero here. Sorry about that.
It was abundantly clear that he was in a hospital room, hooked up to a heart rate monitor. The problem was Rocky had no idea why. The last thing he remembered was barely entering a little town called Ponyville when everything went black. Scanning his bright green eyes around the room, Rocky found a small remote sitting on a stand beside his bed. There was a large green button that read Nurse. With no other ideas, Rocky pressed the button and waited. He had a steady, boring pulse. That incessant beeping sound was a constant reminder. Rocky hated hospitals. They were too safe and boring.
Who hates her? Who doesn't like her? Who likes a hospital?
He was a traveler, an adventurer. He lived for the outdoors, and now his legs were broken.
Oof.
The universe must have been spiting him. Minutes passed, and finally the door opened. In walked the nurse, and Rocky couldn't help but stare. She was gorgeous with a pristine white coat, adorable pink hair, deep blue eyes, and a shapely body. Why are nurses always so hot? The nurse was carrying a clipboard and pencil, smiling kindly as she observed Rocky. Hello there, the nurse began. I'm Nurse Redheart. May I ask your name? Rocky stared at her for a moment before snapping out of his bind. Ask your name, stepping out of his bind. Rocky Rhodes.
I love that. I love that flavor ice cream.
Rocky, Well, Rocky, I'm going to ask you a few questions. It shouldn't take too long. Rocky sighed quietly and nodded. He hated questionnaires. Too official. The nurse jotted down his name, his gender, and the colors on the paper before continuing. Age? 19. Occupation? None. Wait, you don't work? Nurse Redheart asked. No, I travel around and do little jobs here and there to get by, Rocky replied. Really? Sounds like fun. It is, but it doesn't look like I'll be traveling anytime soon.
Fail.
That's true. Both of your legs are completely broken. Rocky tried not to sigh. I noticed.
That sucks.
The nurse read back over the paper. Alright, so you're a 19-year-old male earth pony with a brown coat, brown mane, and green eyes with no occupation. Correct? Sounds right. One more question. What's your cutie mark? A compass. What a surprise, huh? Makes sense since he's an adventurer. Compass.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Doesn't Daring Do also have a compass for her cutie mark?
Yep.
I thought she did. Well, that about does it, Rocky, the nurse said with a smile, lowering her clipboard.
Off topic, but he has a brony band too.
Oh, yeah. right?
It's
Here.
upside down, by the way.
It is?
I think so.
Hold on, we have it minimized, but if you can see it, yeah, it's reversed, but right there, we both have the same brony wristband. Yours is upside down.
Mine is the way I always wear it, but brony represent.
Yeah. Anyways, let's get back
Yeah.
to the fic. Compass was surprised, how that about doesn't Rocky aboard. Wait, nurse, Rocky started. I don't actually remember what happened to me. Do you know? Yes, Nurse Redheart responded, looking solemn. I do. You were walking into Ponyville when our town delivery mare Ditsy Doo actually dropped a package on you. It turned out to be filled with bricks. Ouch! Ouch.
You know, that's funny, as I've had a brick fall on my foot once.
Not pretty.
I had a shoe on, but it hurt like a mother.
Wow.
I collapsed, and I was screaming. It hurt so bad.
It turned out to be filled with bricks. She brought you in here right away, but you were already unconscious.
Damn.
Well, at least she brought him in right away, because she probably...
She probably felt bad.
Oh, yeah, real bad.
Alright, keep going.
Oh, yeah. Wait, how is she carrying a giant box filled with bricks by herself? And who would order something like that anyway?
Okay.
Yeah, the nurse chuckled. Beats me. Anyways, about your legs, it's probably going to be a week or two before you can leave. Our magic only works so quickly. Rocky didn't restrain himself from sighing loudly. Well, I might as well get comfortable, Nurse Redheart looked at Rocky sadly. She felt sorry for him. She also found herself quite attracted to him.
Okay, then.
He wasn't like other stallions. Rocky was young but strong, funny, and had a good-natured aura around him. She could tell that he wasn't happy, but he still did his best to smile. Nurse Redheart could hardly remember the last time she had gotten laid.
Wow.
She certainly had the looks to seduce most any stallion, but had always been too wrapped up in her work. Aww. That's actually a little sad. She was eyeing Rocky a little more excitedly now. Maybe I should... No, what am I thinking?
Wait, let me just say something. Like, I understand the way she's talking because
Yeah.
you know, nurses have to work a long time. Sometimes
Yeah.
they have to work all day,
Yeah.
all week.
Yeah.
So it's not
my,
easy.
my parents' friend Sharon is like that. She works at the hospital, not far from here.
Uh-huh.
The one that used to be called the Mercy Hospital.
Ah, yes.
She works there.
All right, let's go.
Wrapped up in her work, she was eyeing Rocky. What am I thinking? Nurse Redheart shook her head and smiled nervously at Rocky, who looked confused. She was blushing, not sure whether she had noticed him. My bad. She was blushing, not sure whether he had noticed her checking him out. Blushes were quite easy to spot on a white coat.
I would think so.
Well. Still 5. Right.
Alright, got it.
Everything alright, nurse? Rocky asked with concern. The nurse merely chuckled uneasily. Oh, everything's fine. I should get going now. I'll check up on you in a few hours. Just call me if you need me, and try to get some rest. Nurse Redheart spun around and galloped from the room before Rocky could get in a word, leaving him dazed.
Interesting.
She couldn't help but conjure up arousing images in her head, and needed to find somewhere to be alone.
Oh, dear God, I think I know what she's about to do. I think I know where the fanfiction is going, too.
Yeah, hold on. I need to grab my... Wait, is this pillow from the couch?
I don't care. I don't
Give me
know
that
which one
one.
it is. This one's...
Yep.
They're both the same. I don't care.
Give me that pillow!
Okay, continue.
Sorry, I had to tuck in my Vegeta voice. I love Vegeta.
Yep.
He's awesome. Yeah. Unfortunately, the nurse ran down the hall and found herself at the front desk where she worked. It was no use going anywhere now. There weren't many patients in the hospital today, and she had already checked up on all of them. The clock read 9:13. It was nighttime, and the nurse worked almost 24/7. Damn. Man, she probably suffers from fatigue a lot.
You think?
Yeah. And so she sat, looking out the glass doors and into the starry night beyond. She couldn't take her mind off the rampant horny that she felt.
Yep.
It was a complete accident that her mind had turned to sexual thoughts. How she couldn't keep them away. She couldn't take her mind off Rocky either, seeing him as a simple, perfect stallion to get her fix of stallion, whatever the fuck that means.
It means that she wants to get her fix of cock, basically.
It didn't seem right to screw around with her own patient. It was likely illegal, but she didn't see any reason that Rocky would complain. Hell, it might actually cheer him up.
What guy would?
After 15 minutes of arguing within her own mind, Nurse Redheart finally reached a decision. Now I get why this is called intensive care.
Oh, you think?
Special treatment. Special in quotations.
Alright, let's go. Beep, beep, beep.
Beep. Beep. Beep. I heard that in the hospital once. God, it is so fucking annoying. Rocky tried and failed to drown out the beeping. That accursed noise broke into his thoughts, wormed its way into his brain. Instead, he tried focusing on other things. The ticking of the clock, for example, was a slightly more pleasant sound. Yeah, that's more pleasant than hearing a constant beeping. It read 9:35. There weren't any windows in his room, so Rocky had no idea whether it was morning or night. He guessed it was night, though. Everything was so silent. A thick, unnerving silence that only the night can bring. It was that moment when Nurse Redheart slowly opened the door. She gathered her strength. She wanted to come in as confident as possible. It was easier now since she had drank a shot of whiskey beforehand. Oh, so what? She got herself drunk?
A shot of whiskey probably won't get you drunk.
Probably not. She had a very low tolerance for alcohol and didn't drink much, but it was more than enough to calm her nerves. Oh, okay. Now the only thought on her mind was Rocky. You think you can read this paragraph?
I'll try. She swirled her hips.
Swished! Jesus!
Yeah, you read it.
Jeez, you really can't fucking read. I know you said you suck at reading, but damn.
I don't read enough.
She swished her hips as much as possible, swaggering across the room with the flair of a supermodel. Rocky, to say the least, was instantly
I
mesmerized.
think your mom just came downstairs.
Yeah.
Hello?
He had no idea what was...
Pause.
Okay.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
Did you do good on your
I hope so.
exam? What was it for?
It was my reading.
Reading?
exam. Yeah.
Toby, no.
Sorry about it. Sorry about this, everyone. We're just pausing this. I'm trying to make a video, so.
Come on, Johnny. I mean, Toby.
Toby, go ahead. Go on, doggy.
Come on, baby.
Don't stop it. We're just technical Sorry about the pause, everybody.
Oh, that's okay.
Sorry about that, every pony.
Yeah, no idea what was going on, but he could see that the nurse was blushing. She had a pair of bedroom eyes on. She grinned at his rather dumbfounded reaction.
Oh boy.
Nurse Redheart trotted to the side of his bed, holding a button which made the entire thing lean back until Rocky was almost straight up on the bed, only propped slightly. Nurse? Rocky was extremely nervous. And was too busy oogling at Nurse Redheart to notice his growing erection.
You can't whistle today, can you?
I did that purposely.
There you go.
Watch.
Oh, okay.
See,
Sorry.
I was doing that purposely.
Alright, sorry.
Going around, the nurse moved extremely close to Rocky. He could feel her breath on his face.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay, I shall scroll down a little bit more. Whoosh it.
That happens to me all the time.
Yeah. Okay, breath on his face. I just wanted to help you settle in. Oh, shit.
You get the memo, right, Rocky? At least I hope you do.
She whispered seductively in his ear. Nurse Redheart rubbed a hoof along Rocky's chest, tentatively moving it lower. Rocky wasn't about to protest, and sensed her hoof quickly reaching his now fully erect boner.
Oh, yeah.
Rocky gasped as she brushed against the base of his shaft. The nurse started gently planting kisses on his cheek as she circled around his base, teasing him. Finally, she allowed her hoof to stroke from the bottom upwards, moving it back down lightly. Rocky couldn't believe what she was doing, but nonetheless savored the feeling. Done teasing him, Nurse Redheart stopped holding back, stroking his rod forcefully. She picked up speed, clomping him from head to base. Rocky couldn't help but moan, his cheeks growing red. Nurse Redheart continued to quicken, frantically jacking him off.
Yep.
The pleasure was coursing through his whole body. She kept this up for a few minutes before halting abruptly, leaving Rocky blue-balled. What the fuck? He glanced at her, and Nurse Redheart merely smiled. The nurse pulled herself onto the bed, turning to face away from him. Her legs straddled on Rocky's head on either side, giving him a wonderful view of her wet groin. Jesus.
I thought Fleur de Lis was dirty.
Yeah. The nurse swished her tail across his face playfully.
You're really dirty now.
Yeah, we thought Fleur was being a little dirty and higher living, but damn, who would have thought a nurse would be like this?
That's got to be like every guy patient's dream.
Maybe, if the nurse is hot enough.
I'm just saying.
Leaning her head down, Nurse Redheart wrapped her lips around the head of his length, circling her tongue around the tip. Rocky gasped, feeling the wetness against such a sensitive area. The nurse began slowly stroking the bottom of his cock while licking and sucking on the top. The mixture of being clapped and sucked at the same time was incredible. Moving her hoof away, Nurse Redheart slowly pushed downwards, taking inch after inch inside her mouth. She was able to reach the base of his shaft before pulling away. Rocky's entire member coated in saliva. She deep-throated him again, loving the feel of his cock massaging deep inside her mouth. After that, the nurse began rapidly bobbing her head on his length, running her tongue along it with each motion. Rocky started pushing his hips upwards with each motion, lost in pleasure.
Okay, I want to pause it for a sec. This is totally off topic, but I want to announce that I, Tailsthehero, have my own singles account on YouTube now called Tailsthehero what?
J.
Tailsthehero J.
But there's a space between Tailsthehero and J.
And here's the deal, every pony. Don't expect anything big from this account. It's just like a fun account.
Yeah.
Like, the one video I have on there is my Nyan Cat reaction, because I've never seen it before, and now I'm like, what?
Yeah, but I saw that you were laughing, too. You thought it was funny.
I might do some gaming videos, but you never know. Alright, let's get back to this.
Yeah, and, since we're talking about, like, games and stuff here, I want to ask you, anything on Sly 4?
Nothing. Nothing in E3, really, no, like, sorry, but...
Gotta want to know about that game so I can have a party when it comes out!
There was no, release date yet, but sometime this year.
Oh, it better come out or I'm gonna sue Sanzaru for all they got. Just kidding.
You've already pre-ordered the game, just wait.
Yeah, but I don't know if I can wait.
I pre-ordered Halo 4 and COD Black Ops 2. I'm gonna wait. They come out in November. Alright. Enough about games. Let's get back to the fanfiction before people start going, what the hell?
Yeah, alright, sorry about that, but I just was desperate to know, because I wasn't able to get G4 and watch E3, but he did. Okay, while she blew him, Rocky moved his face forwards, meeting her dripping wet pussy. Nurse Redheart gasped and shuddered as Rocky licked along her slit, carefully entering his tongue inside her. She smelled and tasted delightfully sweet, and Rocky's tongue soaked up her juices, exploring the soft walls of her marehood. The nurse started pushing back against his tongue, taking it inside of her. The two were connected, sweat forming on their bodies, eagerly pleasuring each other.
69.
Yeah. Well, they were in that position from the start.
I'm just saying.
The start of that. And I shall... After a short time, Nurse Redheart removed her mouth from Rocky's cock with a sucking sound, and Rocky slipped his tongue out of her. I think he knows what she's going for next. The nurse turned her body around to face him, positioning herself above his member. Yep. With wasting no time, she slowly let herself descend, Rocky's shaft slipping deep inside her. The nurse sighed as she reached the bottom, his entire length caressing her velvety walls. Nurse Redheart began bouncing on top of him, no longer concerned with taking things slow. Rocky was thrusting up into her each time she fell, creating a wet slapping sound. The nurse was growing more and more enraptured with euphoria, slamming into him mercilessly. She hadn't felt such wonderful sensations in so long. Rocky was in heaven. His cock pulsating with pleasure, he continued to buck his hips, plunging deep inside of her. The nerves throughout the nurse's squirm were being simultaneously stimulated, numbing her mind to anything else but their ecstasy. Rocky wrapped his arms around Nurse Redheart's back, pulling her in close. He rubbed his hooves along her back and flank. Whoa. Touching her ass, are we? Feeling the voluptuous curves of her body, her forehead rested against his, tongue walled out. It's always funny. Their hot breath mixing together, Rocky could hear the heart rate monitor beeping wildly. His heart rate sped up, but it wasn't nearly as strong as the feeling as feeling the pounding of the nurse's heart as she pressed her chest to his. She pounded him even more passionately as the two neared their orgasm. In a wave of sudden heat, the two of them reached their climax.
Game!
Must you do that?
I always have to do that.
Nurse Redheart tightened her hold on Rocky's shaft, crying out and shaking as a surge of bliss tore through her whole body. She could faintly feel fluids bursting forth from her mirror hood, soaking Rocky's member. Rocky pushed himself upward, shooting his hot, thick seed deep into her body. Moaning as surges of pleasure swept through him, the two held each other tight as sensations cascaded through and slowly died away. After a few minutes, all was still. Silence except for the huffing of their breath and that god-forsaken beeping. Don't you mean Celestia forsaken? Rocky pressed the button on the side of the bed, causing it to become propped up like before. Nurse Redheart remained wrapped in his embrace, resting her head on his shoulder. She glanced up at him. Well, it's a good thing I'm on birth control. Rocky couldn't help but laugh. Nurse Redheart closed her eyes, slowly passing out from exhaustion, a smile on her face. On second thought, Rocky thought cheerfully, drifting off to sleep with Nurse Redheart in his arms. I think I might enjoy my stay here in Ponyville Hospital after all. The end.
Good fanfic.
Yeah, that was... And I thought Fleur was dirty.
Wait a minute, dude. I got a question for you. What number video is this?
99. Next is going to be our 100th video.
You want to tell them what it is?
Yes, you want to say it on 3?
1,
1, 2, 3.
Lunati!
Lunati! We are for our 100th video special. Me and Tailsthehero are reacting to the sequel of the first fanfic we reacted to, Princess Molestia. But we are reacting to the sequel, Princess Lunati. And like I said before a few videos back, I am reading the epilogue to Princess Molestia first because I skewed through it. It said at the end, "Begin Princess Lunati." So we're gonna read the epilogue to Princess Molestia first, and then we will start Princess Lunati from there. So until then, celebrating our 99th video, going for our 100th. This is JTH
And Tailsthehero, who is not screaming anymore.
Goodbye.